Now, I love a good miracle story as much as the next atheist, just not when it's used as a sales pitch for a religion that never shows the warranty paperwork. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the accident season that knocked my podcast offline for 2 months, other than an occasional video every few weeks during that time. Break down why the God saved me crowd is more interested in proselytizing than proof. Drag a Christian proselytizer into the used car lot and expose the religion as a lemon routine, and arm you with a critical thinking test drive you can use on any miracle claim. Stick around, because the last thing I'm going to do is hand you a glossy brochure. I'm going to hand you a wrench. Now, let's first talk cataracts. After nearly 2 years of my eyesight being in slow decline, blurry vision made editing video feel like trying to read a script through a fogged windshield. I finally had 2 surgeries. One on the right eye, one on the left. 2 cataract surgeries. The doctors told me I'd see crystal clear, except for the eye strain that followed due to my stigmatism, being that my eyes are shaped like footballs, thus it creates a distortion in my vision due to how the light hits the eyes. So even though my eyes were much better from the cataracts being removed, and the artificial lenses they placed in my eyes had a prescription in it for nearsightedness, I was still seeing just a bit of a blur because of the stigmatism, thus needing glasses. And with my eyes still on the recovery boot camp, and I didn't have glasses on, I tried to film a quick recap of my recent car mishap. The result? A choppy mess that looked like a 1990s home video of a cat stuck in a washing machine. The message, however, was crystal clear. Survival is physics, not providence. So a month ago, as I mentioned, sometime after these 2 eye surgeries, though eyes were a little blurry, just a little bit, I could still see quite well for driving. I felt very confident in driving. I'm driving one day, in a typical Midwestern winter day. I'm driving along, and things seem quite fine. Then I hit a huge patch of black ice. They don't call it black ice for nothing. You can't see it on the pavement, and once you hit, there's absolutely no traction. Just clear ice. My car then slides into a perfect rollover in a field. The kind of accident that makes insurance adjusters weep and YouTubers go viral. So here is the rundown. In the past 2 months, I had 2 cataract surgeries. The car had been totaled. My insurance claim looks like a novel. I get a different car, and I end up with a new set of glasses that makes the world look like a high-definition movie. Sharp, very clear. So let's get data-driven, because that's how we separate miracles from statistical reality. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, over 1,300 people die each winter on black ice patches in the United States alone. Many of those are self-identified Christians, which means the God-selected survivors are actually the statistical minority. If a deity were cherry-picking who lives and who dies, you'd think the survival rate would be higher than the odds of winning a lottery ticket while standing on one foot. But it isn't. As soon as the video of my crash landed on YouTube, the comment section turned into a God saved you circle. What irritates me isn't a well-meaning sentiment. It's the assumption that my survival proves a deity exists. Let's dissect why that assumption is as flimsy as a cheap car seat. Hundreds of people die on the same black ice stretch every winter. Some are Christians. Some are atheists. Some are agnostics. Some are aliens. I'm kidding. Maybe not. The point is survival is random. If God were playing a cosmic lottery, we'd see a bias toward believers. But we don't. I'm atheist and I got into several accidents and I'm quite well. A key principle in critical thinking is that a claim must provide a mechanism, an explainable process that can be observed, tested, and repeated. God saved me offers none. There's no lab experiment where you can drop a car on black ice, pray, and watch it land upright every single time. Instead, we have seatbelts, airbags, first responders, and the angle at which the car hit the ground. Those are reproducible variables. Seatbelts. The National Safety Council reports that seatbelts reduce the risk of fatal injury by 45%. Emergency responders. Within minutes of my rollover, paramedics arrived and gave me a quick look over. Fortunately, I had no serious injuries. Lucky physics, the car's center of mass. The snow's friction coefficient. The exact moment of impact, all of those are measurable. Until someone can demonstrate a repeatable divine intervention, the claim, God saved me, stays exactly where it belongs. A personal belief, not a universal proof. Now, let's shift gears. And yet another video I posted during this 2-month stretch, just after, recording that first video on my accident, I got a used car within 2 weeks after I posted that video, so I posted the video about the used car, and I made some analogies. So, in that next video I posted during this 2-month stretch, still nursing my eyes, I made a used car salesman analogy, as I mentioned, that most atheists and ex-Christians recognize but rarely vocalize. Say, a used car salesman usually hands you a shiny brochure. These days, it's a web page online showing pictures of perfect interiors, claims of fuel efficiency, and a limited time offer that makes you feel an urgency you can't ignore. A Christian proselytizer hands you a polished creed. Miracles, salvation, eternal life, and the promise that if you buy now, you'll avoid the eternal warranty void. Both rely on emotional triggers more than on hard data. The car salesman says, "Look at that cozy interior. The engine runs like a dream," while ignoring the slowly leaking water pump. The proselytizer says, "See the miracles, the love, the community?" while glossing over historical contradictions, moral problems, and scientific impossibilities. Ever felt pressured to sign a sales contract before you can test drive? That's the same pressure you feel when a proselytizer says, "You need to accept Jesus today or you're burned forever." No room for inspection, no room for questions. The salesman earns a commission on each vehicle sold. The proselytizer sometimes earns social capital donations, but quite often it's personal prestige, all framed as spiritual rewards for the recruit. When the seller discourages questions, rushes you, or offers a one-size-fits-all solution, you're dealing with a red flag. The same red flag you'd see on a lemon of a car with a cracked dashboard. My very first car was a classic lemon. Advertised as reliable, delivered with a hidden engine defect. several actually, and a never-ending repair bill. I bought it because I trusted the salesman's pitch. Weeks later, I was asking myself, what was I thinking? That experience taught me a principle that applies perfectly to religion. Never accept a product or a belief system without inspecting it for hidden defects. If the dealer, or in this case the Christian proselytizer, discourages you from probing, rushes the sale, or offers a one-size-fits-all solution, treat that as a defect. So how do we inspect a faith-based claim the way we look under a car's hood? Identify the leaks, logical inconsistencies. Does the doctrine claim both God is all-loving and God orders wars? Historical inaccuracies. Are the biblical events corroborated by independent sources? Moral contradictions. Does the faith condone slavery, genocide, or discrimination? Demand evidence. Miracles are extraordinary claims. They require extraordinary evidence. Look for independent, reproducible data. A single anecdote, like God saved me, is not data. Assess motives. Ask yourself, is the proselytizer seeking personal gain? Like donations, fame, spiritual points? Is there a community pressure to convert, such as shunning or guilt tripping if you don't? If the answer is yes, you're looking at a sales pitch, not a genuine spiritual experience. Here comes the VIN check of faith. VIN. You're familiarized with VIN when you're looking at a car? When you buy a used car, you check the VIN to see its history, accidents, ownership, recalls. Do the same with religion. Scriptural source analysis. Who wrote it? When? And why? Archaeological record. What does the material evidence say? Comparative mythology. How do the stories line up with older myths? If the VIN shows multiple crashes, contradictions, moral failures, scientific impossibilities, then you're looking at a lemon. Now that I'm back in the driver's seat, glasses on, eyes cleared, car, well, metaphorically, fully serviced, here's what you'll get from the upcoming episodes. Full-length, high-quality video, thanks to my new prescription lenses. No more squinting at the waveform. Deep investigations into religious claims using the same forensic approach I use on a car's VIN. No glossy brochure or webpage, only the engine block. Statistical, physical, and philosophical dissection of the God saved me argument. Expect math, physics, and a bit of dark humor and future guest interviews with ex-Christians, atheists, and skeptics. If you've ever felt pressure from a religious salesman, whether it's a quick conversion in the comment section or a donate now or go to hell pitch, this podcast is your mechanic shop. If you enjoyed this mechanical deconstruction of Christian car salesmen, smash the subscribe button, hit like, and share this video with anyone who's ever been told God saved you by a Christian without a single shred of evidence to prove their claim. And if you enjoy this podcast and live in the United States, please consider making a $3 monthly donation by going to my Patreon and becoming a member. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.